Good evening. Hi. How you doing? It's Patricia Ann Land and Regali, Chief Little Flower, coming at ya from an undisclosed location on scene throughout somewhere, anywhere in the great states of this United States of America. As you can tell, it's about dawning. The sun is right. The sun is setting, and it's so beautiful. And I'm really excited to be able to catch up. This is my demo. This is my maiden voyage with my phone. The saboteurs had sabotaged this particular phone, and I was able to override it and get it back up and running. So I'm pretty excited about having it be full throttle. So today I want to talk about due diligence. And then, so with regards to the state of the covert presence of the treason circuit, you sacrifice circuit, aka gang stalking. My advice to you is that if you have a friend or a family member that may or may not be going through it and you would like to help them, the best thing to do would be to actually do your due diligence. What does that look like? That's basically taking some of the points of respect with regards to the situation is, did you look it up? Did you go to targetedjustice.com? Did you do any of the footwork yourself? I mean, because it's one thing to not have any experience about it. It's a whole other thing to decide to judge somebody when you hadn't even done the due diligence of simple research. You know, because it's kind of like, if you really want to help, then what you need to do is equip yourself with basic knowledge. But your basic knowledge is usually derived out of experience, and if you don't have any experience, then how can you really say you know what you're talking about? Best way that anybody could do would be to look up the highlights. And what are the highlights? I would talk about the etiology, the history, and how it comes into play, which basically is real simple. It is Project Paperclip brought in 1,300 of Nazi Germany's concentration camp executioners, and then they escaped the Nuremberg trials, which they would have actually have had to stand for trial for that, for crimes against humanity. They would have been executed, but you know, those lucky bastards got a nice free pass right into the United States of America. And well, you know, boom, treason, your active treason circuit. Which is, you know, a heritage of a Nazi playbook, Stasi, Stasi. But you know, that's the biggest thing that I would ever suggest, is that, because I read a lot of subreddits on Reddit about the gang stalking, you get a lot of people on there that are genuine with the questions. But the only drawback with that is that you get a lot of shills that, you know, are just there to muddy up the waters because that's what they're paid to do. But beyond that, just because you might find misinformation, you can use your sense of discernment to find out whether or not the information resonates with you. But I think the hardest thing about it is just knowing which direction to take it, you know? So, but if you have a direction, at least you have a starting vantage that you didn't have to spend a lot of time investing in. So, but that's just the biggest thing. I'm like, I don't see how anybody could be judge, jury, and executioner of somebody who's going through the gang stalking if you hadn't done your due diligence and even looked into the history, let alone the nuts and bolts of it. So that's all I want to do, is just encourage everybody to be accountable for your own information. And if you are, you know, helping somebody through it, you know, instead of just let them know that you think that they're just all, you know, or imagining things, I think it's a lot more irresponsible to label somebody something when you hadn't even done your own due diligence about problem solving it for yourself. So the answers are simple. You just have to have the need and desire to actually want to clear the air for yourself, because while you may be helping somebody along the way, you might end up helping yourself, but it's okay. We all coming at this from different angles, different perspectives. That part of my life is now behind me, and I'm very thankful for that. And yes, moving forward out of the frying pan, praise God. So, but as of today's date, I think it's, let me see, what is today's date? I don't know. It's about June 5th, I think it is. Anyhow, nobody's come to bridge the ambiguity with some truth for me. And the sad thing about that is that there's a lot of people that is in the know with the enabling of the cover-ups. So while you think you can get away with the cover-ups for only so long, the logistics are going to play out. So I would just suggest that if you're on the fence of which direction to strike on, the answer is simple. It's ethics. It's ethics. And if you have to compromise your ethics in any way, that's not the path that will provide long-term dividends for you. Because at the end of the day, what we really need to concern ourselves with is, far be it for just the ethics, but the motivation and inspiration, I think that would actually provide a lot of clarity for others is the fact that whatever you vibe out with your vibratory frequency, you can't rise any higher than that. So if you would like to be able to manifest for yourself, it's all interrelated on whichever frequency you decide to have your peak point of attraction by which you idle at. So that's why ethics is a good line in the sand. So, but anything that has to involve gaslighting is demonic. You really should stay away from it because those kind of people are, throw you under the bus quicker than you can say Jack Rabbit. But whatever. So, but that's just my food for thought. Due diligence. I'm just, if you hadn't done your due diligence yet, now's a good time to. But if you're a police officer and you haven't done your due diligence yet, then you're pushing the 8-ball. But, it's nothing that somebody's going to outline for you. That's something that you're going to have to be accountable for, not just in the presence of a court of law, but in the presence of what you signed up to do, which is to serve and protect. And so it's continuing education is a part of it, but just because your employer doesn't call for it, doesn't give you the free pass, you're accountable to what's going on in the community. So you can help protect the community. But again, it goes back to due diligence. If you are in any way ethical, any way morally inclined, then it's not just it's more than a duty for you to actually equip yourself with due diligence. It is your responsibility. If you are a public servant, it is your responsibility. If you have kids, it is your responsibility as a American citizen or as a patriot that actually wants to uphold what the patriots had done before us. It's because they did all this sacrificing and sacrificed their own lives and spilled their own blood into the soil. So we, future generations from then, could actually have the liberties that our Constitution calls forth. So that is why the importance of due diligence has to be met not just on a personal level, but on a family unit, especially if you are a matriarch or patriarch of a family. And if you hadn't gotten that far yet, it's okay. Because for other families, it might be a very new concept. And that could be very dangerous because if it's a new concept for you, that means you are, you'd be ripe for the pickings. But doing your due diligence actually helps protect others and protects yourself. Because if you wrap yourself up in nothing but opinions based on your conjecture without even doing your due diligence to look it up, to actually do your own soul searching, you hobble yourself. And the whole idea of equipping yourself with bandwagoning up some self-research is to help keep you on the leading edge of safety, the leading edge of current events, because these are the current events that your councilmen are not talking about. But if you want to know if you really have councilmen that are worth a shit, ask them what are their plans to abolish the treason sacrifice circuit that gang stalking really is. So that's just some food for thought. Thank you for watching. Patricia Ann Landon Regali, Chief Little Flower, coming at you from a very, how can you say, private, private, someplace in America, where I'm very, very happy to have been graced with prosperity. So, at any rate, this signing off for now, and I hope it helps open up some minds that you wouldn't have necessarily otherwise thought of. But peace out for now.